A few weeks ago, two other gardeners and I got together and decided to start a grow along for 2026. And today I am going to show you the seeds that we're starting, but also I want to invite you to become part of this grow along if you want to start some of these seeds. And if this is your first time starting seeds, even better. The main reason for starting this grow along is really just to have fun and see how certain seeds, certain plants grow in different places. I am going to add information of the other two gardeners that are doing this with me. We're all in different zones. We're starting them at different times. So I highly encourage you to go and check them out and see when they're starting, how they're doing it. We all start seeds indoors, but we all use different things and we all start them in different ways. There is no right or wrong way to start seeds indoors. It really is just the way that you prefer to do things in the circumstances, in the rooms, and the conditions that you have them. So I am excited to show you the seeds that we're going to be starting. We have three here. We got them all from Johnny's. No, they're not sponsoring any of these videos. For us, it was just easier to go there, choose the three varieties that we wanted, so we all had the same seeds. We have a Petunia, which is absolutely, absolutely lovely. We have a Zinnia. This is, I think, one of their newer Zinnias that they have on the market. Linen, which I love. If you grew Aurora last year, this is a little bit more like a pale yellowish color, but in the same idea of Aurora. And we have a Marigold. Every year I get lots of marigolds, the very short plants that I used to grow everywhere in my garden, but this year is actually the first year that I'm going to grow this kind. If you want to be part of this grow along, this is your invitation. You're in. Congratulations. The next thing that you need to do is order any of the seeds or all of the seeds that you want to grow with us. You don't have to grow the exact same varieties. It will be cool to see how these varieties do though. But if you already have marigolds or zinnias or petunias maybe, then this is your invitation and just follow along. We are going to be using this hashtag right here for tagging any videos or Instagram posts or Facebook posts. If you don't want to do that, that's completely fine. If you just want to follow along and grow with us the plants that we're growing, that's absolutely fine. But it's also fun for us to, check the hashtag and see what other people are doing. Now, I have grown petunias, marigolds, and zinnias here in my central Indiana garden for the last few years. I am very familiar with all of these varieties, well, except the marigold, but I am familiar with how marigolds grow, period. My room, I have mentioned before, is really, really warm. Right now it's really bright. The windows face the south side. I am on the second floor, so this room gets nice and crispy. I'm talking like 75, 80 sometimes. Sometimes I have to open the windows because it's really, really hot up here. It's an older house, so that's how it goes. That said, seeds, plants that love the warm do very, very well here, and they grow quickly. I provide them with a nice set of LED shop lights, and I give them a really nice quality potting soil, and that is a great combination for plants, for seedlings to do well. I am mentioning that because I know the room that I have, I know the conditions that I have here, and I know that these seeds are going to go great. So I need to tweak the time when I am starting this, because if I go by what the packet says, most of these things will be huge by the time that I'm getting ready to transplant them outside. And I don't necessarily want to be dealing with huge plants. I'm going to grow a lot of these plants, so space is a huge issue. So I just want to throw that out there. Now, for somebody who's growing in a cooler room, maybe a basement or a unheated garage, or maybe your house just stays on a cooler side than most people, then you definitely want to stick to what the weeks before the information on the package says to start the seeds. If this is your first year starting seeds and you are so confused about when to start the seeds, what that means, I am going to try to make this as easy as possible. Every seed has a growing period before they're ready to be taken outside. All of these seeds love the warmth, so you have to transplant them outside when you are no longer on a risk of having a frost. And that's going to depend entirely on where you live. When it comes to starting seeds, I stay away from gardening zones. Gardening zones are not used for when you decide to start the seeds. Your last frost date is really what dictates when you're able to take your seeds outside. And you have to kind of use that day, your last frost date, kind of like a guide, not like a rule. Because here in central Indiana, where I live, my last frost date is April 25th. But I have to be careful with that. And I really, most of the years, I have been taking my seeds outside, planting them outside the first week in May. When May arrives, I am constantly watching the forecast to see if I have any chance of cold temperatures. And if everything looks good, the first, maybe even the second week in May is when I'm safe. You can easily Google your last frost day for your city, for your town, for the biggest city where you live. But really go and ask somebody who has been gardening for a long time. Go to any of your local Facebook groups and ask when you're safe to plant tomatoes or things that love the warm outside. And they should be able to tell you from experience when that day is for you. And that day is what you're going to use to start these seeds. For example, petunias, and the lovely thing about Johnny's is that they have the information on their website of how to grow these things, but also on the back of the package. Petunias, it says that I can start them 4 to 6 weeks before planting, before my last frost date, on a very, very small cell. It's giving me an idea that for a 10 by 20 tray that is 128 or 288 cells, I can start them about 4 to 6 weeks. Now, those are like this small. They're really, really small. I want my petunias to be slightly bigger. So I'm going to start them a little bit longer than that. So I'm going to give them a little bit longer than 4 to 6 weeks. Now the next thing that says, or 6 to 8 weeks before planting for larger seedlings. 6 to 8 weeks is probably a good window for me. I have tried petunias before. I believe that I did 10 weeks before, and they were huge. They were really, really big. They were ready to be transplanted outside, and it was quite a huge mess. So I think that this year I am going to stick to 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 weeks of studying my petunias indoors. So that means that at the beginning of March is when I am going to be studying my petunias here in central Indiana, because my room is slightly warm. It's definitely on the warm side. But if you have your room on the cool side, you probably want to be looking at maybe 8 to 10 weeks for petunias in order to get the seedlings a little bit on the big side. The next is marigold, and my marigolds normally tend to be a good size, not too huge but not too small. They're not a plug size, but they're really not a 1 gallon size containers. I start them about the middle of March, and it's okay if I start them a little bit more towards the end of March to get them outside the first week in May. Now, if I'm looking at the information on the package, it says that I can start them about 8 weeks. Again, because I know my room conditions, I am definitely not going to start these guys 8 weeks before my last frost date. Definitely I'm going to stick to the 6, maybe 5 week mark for starting my marigolds. And zinnias. Zinnias are one of those that I like to do 2 ways. I like to just simply put the seeds outside when I am free of frost. First week in May, I will go and find a spot and I will just direct sow the seeds. I will just place the seeds in the ground and let them do their thing. But also, I have found that giving them a head start, starting them a good 2, maybe even 3 weeks before indoors, it gets them big enough so that I can just plant them outside. One year, one of the first years that I was starting from seed, and I got a bunch of Zinnia seeds, and I just placed them outside, direct sown in the ground. As soon as they were sprouting, I had a huge problem, and this might have been just a really wet spring that I had with roly-polies eating every single zinnia that came out of the ground. So in order to fight that, I found that starting zinnias from seed, or really starting a lot of things from seed, and just having them placed outside when it was safe, it's really a good thing to fight that. Now, I don't know if that was just something that I experienced, but that's how I'm doing zinnias this year. And I am going to do both. I have plenty of zinnias. I have 100 seeds of just this one variety of zinnias. So I am going to start some about 2 weeks. I'm just going to keep it safe and start them 2 weeks before I'm ready to plant them outside. That means more towards the end of April. So they're just growing 2 weeks indoors. And zinnias grow super, super quickly. They germinate quickly, they grow quickly. So 2 weeks for me is plenty of time for them to be growing indoors. So decide what you want to grow. Decide if you still have plenty of time to order the seeds and get the seeds, and follow and grow along with us. I am going to be showing you really quick some of the things that I am going to be using for starting most of these seeds. You don't have to watch the rest of the video if you don't want to. If you already have a setup in place, and that's amazing. But if you're just starting out, maybe these things are helpful and can give you a guide of what things to do, or what things to buy, or what things to save for starting your seeds this year. Now, one of the first things that you're going to think about if you're starting seeds this year for the first time is the containers that you're going to use for growing those seeds. Now, if this is your first year, I will say try to reuse, try to save things that you already have at home that are probably going to go to recycle or to the trash. Things like to-go containers. I think we ordered Chinese on this one. It had a lid. I don't know if I still have the lid, but it had a lid that acts like a little dome to keep the moisture intact. I have a bunch of straw flowers growing here. They're doing amazing. This is a container that I made whole so that they have drainage. So it's a very good option for you to grow seeds. Another one that I have been using this year, just to show you guys, is this egg cartons. And they have been growing really well. I also have some straw flowers here. Some seeds did not germinate. These seeds were from like 2022, so I knew the germination wasn't going to be that good, and I'm okay with that. But I didn't have to spend any money on containers for these guys. These guys are just working perfectly. Over here, I have some buplerium that is not doing too well. Don't ask me why. It's just not doing so well this year. But this is a container where I think that I purchased potatoes. So it was just this tray, had a couple of potatoes on it, and I figured that I could use this tray for starting soil blacks. So it's a great way to reuse it. Now, if you're just looking around and trying to find the best deal on containers for starting seeds, you're probably going to find tons of things at Menards, at your local hardware stores, and most of them are really, really flimsy, cheap plastic that really you can just use once and they're not usable for the following year. I have found that buying my supplies once and using them for many, many years after that works really, really great for me. And this is a personal choice that I'm making. I am investing in all of these colorful, lovely containers that you see here. If you watch some of my videos before, you already know that they come from Bootstrap Farmer. No, they are not sponsoring this video, but they are a sponsor of my channel for other videos. And like I said, if you're just starting out, you can find things like this, but if you really get into the details of your seed starting setup, I think that it's definitely worth looking into getting something that you can use for many, many years, and you don't have to worry about getting rid of, the same flimsy things year after year. The second thing that you're going to find is that the soil, the medium that you use, is going to be a huge factor in how well those seedlings grow for you. Personally, I use 4Bs from Vermont. I can only find it online, but it's an amazing product. I did a few tests before where I test a few of those potting mixes. I am using Vermont because they work for me and my seedlings. I think that, they just show that they're amazing. But if you're just starting out, go ahead and try to get the best high quality potting mix that you can find. At this point, I am not using seed starting mix anymore. It's just, it didn't make sense for me to do that step. Like I said, find something that is somewhat of a fine texture, that is not too chunky. You can always save your potting mix. So start somewhere. Now, if you're already getting so confused as to what to use, what to buy, what is the best soil that you can get, don't be. I find that when it comes to starting seeds, and especially if it's your first year, you're going to find that you're going to like and dislike a lot of things that you use. And that's the beauty of it, really. I have been studying seeds for the last 7 years, and I have changed my soil mix. I have changed my suppliers for certain things. I have tried new lights. I have replaced those lights. It's just a process where every year you just try to get better, to make upgrades if you need to make upgrades. And when it comes to soil, containers, lights, you're going to find that some years you just like some things better than others. Now, the third and last thing that I'm going to mention is lights. I don't use grow lights in my room. I use LED shop lights, and they work amazing. They work really, really well. However, just this year, Bootstrap came out with a very small setup, like a tabletop setup for having something small for those people that maybe are just starting into growing seeds. I'm going to show you what that looks like. I got one of these LED grow lights. They're actually grow lights with LED lights in it, and they will cover a 10 by 20 tray easily. So if you're just starting out and you do not need a whole shelving unit or a huge area where you're going to start a bunch of seeds, but you just want something where you can grow a handful of tomatoes or some zinnias or marigolds, or if you're just jumping into this grow along and you want to try to make your life easier, I think that this small light that they have, and again, they're not sponsoring this video, I think that this is really, really great. I decided to get one not because I need more lights in this place, but because I wanted to show you how easy it is to set up. And I thought that I was going to need a lot more time. This probably took me like maybe 5 minutes to set up at most. You can easily get this on a little corner on your kitchen counters or on a table somewhere, or anywhere where you can just find a small place to fit a 10 by 20 tray. This light is perfect. One of the cool things about this is that you can move the light easily up and down, so that you don't have to worry about, you know, like being too high or too short for your seedlings. You can easily take it up and down as your seedlings grow. But also, one thing that I guess I didn't realize is that this light comes with a timer already. It has a 8, 12, and 16-hour timer, which is crazy good. To be honest, I did not read the instructions when I first got this thing, and I mean that's just amazing. So not only you get the grow light, but you get the setup for how to place it where you need it, and also the timer, which I think is great. It is really hard to record videos when you have these LED lights going. But again, I am going to add information on where to get all of these LED grow lights, where to get my lights that I'm using, trays. If you are joining the Grow Alone, check my other friends' videos and let me know if you're joining, what seeds you're growing. And the next video for the Grow Alone will be a video where we're starting our petunias, which will be again at the very, very end of February or the very early beginning of March. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the next video.